Greetings, YouTube. So I was listening to mathematicians speak the other day on one of the NPR shows I listen to. I can't remember which one it is. And he was giving a series of talks in different places about a particular type of research he had been doing. And at the end of the talk, a question he received time and time again that he found very irritating was, what's your favorite number? This man didn't have a favorite number, still doesn't have a favorite number. But one day it got him irritated enough, he came back at the person and said, well, what's your favorite number? And the guy said 12. And he suddenly realized that these people were asking him that question so that they could share with him what their favorite number is. So then he started doing research about does everyone have, or how many people have, a favorite number? And as the research began to continue, he began to realize that favorite numbers have genders, that people tend to think of odd numbers as masculine and even numbers as feminine. Fascinating stuff. And that people associate emotional states to the numbers. So they may say my favorite number is 38, and they'll tell you a little story about why their favorite number is 38. Now I have a favorite number. It's in the name, it's in the title of my channel, Tetsubo 57. 57 is my favorite number. There's no deep understanding, no deep story behind that. I'm autistic. As a child, I found the logo of the Heinz 57 bottle incredibly aesthetically pleasing. It just hit some vibe in my brain. And from that point forward, 57 was my favorite number. That's it. There's nothing else to it. I have no emotional connection to 57. I just happen to like that number. In the same way, I find 3 to be a cool number and 5. Uh, I find 9 to be cool because it's 9 dots in a square. You can and you can take those 9 dots as a square and you can turn it this way and you make a diamond and stuff. So the structure of that 3 times 3 equals 9, that fascinates me. I like 3.1416 yada yada yada. Pi's cool, even though I can't remember more than 4 digits. I still think it's a fascinating number. But none of these things have emotional connections to me. My brain just says that's a cool number, and so I don't argue. When I was younger, I could look at a series of objects on a table, and if it was 5 or less, I wouldn't have to count. I could just look at it and I'd know what the count was. That is as easy now at 60 as it was. I guess cognitive decline is a real thing as well as a loss of muscle mass. Unless you're actively exercising, and I don't, the loss of muscle mass is real. Doing things today at 60 is a lot harder than it was at 50. Every day at work, I have to lug things and carry things and push and pull things, and it's a little more effort now than it was 10 years ago. Um, but I've talked about favorite things before, like what do you call yourself? So I want to know from you, what is your favorite number? And do you have an emotional connection to it? Is there a story behind it? And also, do you think that numbers have genders? I don't. I don't gender numbers. I would never think of an odd number as being masculine and an even number as being feminine. I don't judge people who do. I just don't. And the idea of doing that was fascinating to me when I heard it. So let's talk about numbers because I find them fascinating. And I'm hoping you do too.